Do you think this idea of scrapping this MPhil is relevant in the present context?
अगर कोई बास्केटबॉल का खिलाड़ी है और वह प्रशासक बनता है तो उससे प्रशासक बनने में उसको क्या फ़ायदा मिलेगा, वो कौन से गुण हैं जो अपने साथ लेकर जाएगा उस खेल की वजह से?
Government of Bihar has come up with any policy document in terms of prohibiting the child marriages?
Now, what is the reason for Bihar not having APMC?
Being the student of the PSIR, can you tell me about the ping pong diplomacy?
May I come in, sir?
Please.
Morning, sir.
Please sit down, Anjali.
Thank you, sir.
Please tell me something about yourself.
So, my name is Anjali. I come from Patna district of Bihar, and my schooling happened there only. And after that, I completed my graduation from Delhi, from Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi University. And then my master's, and the subject was political science honors, sir. And master's from the same discipline from IGNOU. And currently, I'm pursuing PhD.
You're currently pursuing PhD.
Yes, sir.
Now you see, the new education policy had already recommended the scrapping of MPhil.
Yes.
Do you think this idea of scrapping this MPhil is relevant in the present context?
Sir, I think the objective behind scrapping the MPhil was, it was the two-year period was to give an experience of transition from master's to PhD, so that the research experience as well as the writing experience. So currently in the PhD format that we are doing, the 6 months coursework provide that kind of experience to the students. So I think, sir, scrapping that will help students to achieve to their objective of whatever goal they have set in a quicker manner, at the same time maintaining the quality, sir. So I think it is well enough a policy.
Anjali, because you are coming from Bihar, one of the very, you can say, powerful agrarian belt, the northern India, specifically the Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Now, what is the reason for Bihar not having APMC?
Yes, sir. So we do have a very good agrarian belt, sir, given the geographical conditions. But in terms of agriculture, sir, there are certain limitations, and groupings in forms of APMC is one of them, sir. But we are trying to maintain agricultural societies in the form of SHGs very well, sir. So even if that is a limitation, it is being covered in the form of number of SHGs that is happening around agriculture, especially with the contribution of women, sir.
Anjali, because Bihar itself has a very glorious past, you see, when it comes to education. Now, but post-independent era, if you would see that the Bihar, the kind of education, the literacy that is what we are having right now in Bihar is very alarming and very saddening, right? It is of course, is pointing out some apprehensions within the people there in Bihar. Now, what are the reasons for such anomalies which is present right now?
Yes,
From
sir.
the glorious past to the present, what we have.
Sir, absolutely, sir. We have a glorious past in terms of the prestigious universities which were world famous, Nalanda University, Vikramshila. So we do have even people like Ashok, they invested, and Buddhism, a number of things in education sector puts Bihar on the global map, sir. Currently, the situation is very far from the glorious past, sir. I recognize that. And I feel that the primary reason is infrastructural backlashes that we have in two formats, both physical infrastructure, sir, and social infrastructure also. Physical infrastructure in terms of, we do have schools, we have under Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, sir. But when you put on school, you also need to put it up in terms of the internet access, especially in higher education, sir, labs facilities. So how much incentivization we are giving there to hold on to our students. Social infrastructure, sir, the kind of faculties we have, the faculties that we are putting up, the process through which that they are coming, and also, sir, in terms of vacancies are there, so how they are being filled. And how on the path of education also, sir, how evolved they are to keep the psychological aspect of education also in mind. So social infrastructure, sir, but I think that we have realized that limitation, and we are working on each and every front, on physical infrastructure in terms of budgetary allocation, or social infrastructure in terms of teacher recruitment and other things, sir.
Anjali, thank you.
जी.
अंजलि, लेडी श्री राम का मतलब क्या है?
जी सर, सर लेडी श्री राम एक बहुत बड़े चैरिटी और एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हुआ करते थे 1950s में, जिन्होंने श्री राम कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स की भी स्थापना की सर। उन्होंने अपनी वाइफ के नाम पे लेडी श्री राम कॉलेज, तो उस समय जो हस्बैंड्स थे उनके नाम के आगे टू लेडी लगा दिया जाता था टू रिकॉग्नाइज देयर वाइफ।
सीधे उनका नाम नहीं लिखा गया, क्यों?
फुलन देवी नाम था सर, एंड आई फाइंड दैट ये थोड़ी सी मुझे ये प्रॉब्लमेटिक बात लगी कि ये लेडी श्री राम लिखा गया और उनका नाम के बेसिस पे नहीं किया गया। लेकिन चूँकि श्री राम खुद एक बहुत बड़े इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट और एजुकेशनिस्ट थे और श्री राम कॉलेज ऑफ कॉमर्स की स्थापना उन्होंने की थी और एजुकेशन के फील्ड में बहुत कुछ कर रहे थे, तो इसीलिए उन्हीं के नाम पे एक और कॉलेज नहीं चलता, तो लेडी श्री राम उनके वाइफ के नाम पर आ गया सर।
अब मौका मिले अगर उन्हीं के नाम पे रखने का, जिनके नाम पे रखना चाहिए, तो रख देंगी, नाम बदल देंगी?
सर फूलन देवी एज सच उन्होंने एजुकेशन के फील्ड में, मैंने उनके बारे में पढ़ा है, बहुत कुछ नहीं किया था सर। तो श्री राम कॉलेज श्री राम सर के नाम के ही ऊपर रखना था, तो चूँकि एक कॉलेज ऑलरेडी चल रहा था इसीलिए एक डिस्टिंक्ट नाम देने के लिए रखा गया। तो रैशनल अगर वो है सर, तो मुझे लगता है नाम कंटिन्यू किया जा सकता है।
ठीक है, ये बताइए बास्केटबॉल
जी
किस
सर।
देश का राष्ट्रीय खेल है?
सर सॉरी, मुझे अभी ध्यान नहीं है सर, मैं देखूंगी जाकर।
इस खेल की शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई थी, पता है कुछ?
नहीं सर, खेलती हूँ नहीं सर, इसके बारे में
खेलती हैं
जानकारी
आप? कहाँ तक खेली हैं?
सर मैंने अपने पटना डिस्ट्रिक्ट को रिप्रेजेंट किया है और मेरा बिहार टीम में भी सिलेक्शन हुआ था सर।
अच्छा।
हाँ।
ये मान लीजिए कि अगर कोई बास्केटबॉल का खिलाड़ी है और वह प्रशासक बनता है,
जी सर।
तो उससे प्रशासक बनने में उसको क्या फ़ायदा मिलेगा? वो कौन से गुण हैं जो अपने साथ लेकर जाएगा उस खेल की वजह से?
जी सर। सर बास्केटबॉल पर्टिकुलरली और खेल इन जनरल सर, अगर वहाँ से कोई खिलाड़ी अगर प्रशासन में आता है तो मुझे लगता है एक चीज़ जो वो निश्चित रूप से लेकर आएगा वो है एक टीम को साथ रख के चलने की जो अवधारणा होती है वो मजबूती से बना के रख सकता है, क्योंकि कोई खेल अकेले नहीं जीता जा सकता और वो प्रशासन में भी ये बात सत्य है। तो एक तो टीम एंड लीडरशिप वो लेकर के आता है। स्ट्रैटेजी बिल्डिंग भी सर गेम्स में और प्रशासन में बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि अगर आपको किसी पॉलिसी का ड्राफ्टिंग या इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करना है तो किस तरीके से आप उसको प्लान करेंगे, समय के हिसाब से उसको डिवाइड करेंगे, उसको प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, उसका प्रोटोटाइप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, उस हिसाब से कुछ अच्छी चीज़ें खेल से लेकर के आ सकते हैं प्रशासन में से।
तो आप किस प्लान के साथ जा रही हैं प्रशासन में?
सर आप थोड़ा और स्पेसिफाई कर,
मतलब आप क्या सोच के जा रही हैं, आप क्या करना चाहती हैं वहाँ पे जाके?
सर बिहार में पर्टिकुलरली
हाँ।
मुझे लगता एक फील्ड जिसमें मुझे लगता है अगर मैं कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर पाऊँ तो वो एजुकेशन ही रहेगा सर। जैसा मैंने आपको पहले बोला, वो मेरा पोस्ट प्रेफरेंस भी है सर, बिहार एजुकेशन सर्विसेज। और वो इसलिए है सर क्योंकि मैं अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन से पढ़ी हूँ और मैंने अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस का प्रभाव देखा है, एक ईथॉस बिल्डिंग में, कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग में एंड प्रैग्मेटिक गोल सेटिंग में, आपके जॉब सेटिंग्स में। तो उस तरह की अगर चीज़ मैं ला पाऊँ वहाँ के एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन।
अच्छा, आप कह रहे हैं कि आप अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशन में पढ़ी हैं?
जी
ठीक है।
जी सर।
यहाँ पर मैं देख रहा हूँ आप इग्नू से भी पढ़ी हैं।
जी सर।
तो इग्नू में तो ऐसे बच्चे भी देखने को मिलते हैं कि एडमिशन लेते हैं और फिर परीक्षा के दिन सीधे परीक्षा देने जाते हैं, काम चलाओ पढ़ लेते हैं, डिग्री उनको मिल जाती है। तो ऐसा लग रहा है इग्नू तो डिग्री देने का काम कर रहा है। तो वो अच्छा शिक्षा संस्थान कहाँ पे है?
सर इग्नू निश्चित रूप से डिग्री देने का काम कर रहा है सर, और इग्नू उन लोगों को डिग्री देने का काम कर रहा है जिनको उस समय पारिस्थितिक स्थितियाँ ऐसी हैं जिसकी वजह से अगर उन्हें कोई जॉब करने की आवश्यकता है या उनके पास संसाधन कम है, फाइनेंशियल रिसोर्सेज कम है, तो उनको अगर वो डिग्री देने का काम कर रहा है सर, तो मुझे लगता है वो सही है। और उनके पास निश्चित रूप से बच्चे, जैसा आपने कहा, बस एग्ज़ाम देने चले जाते हैं, लेकिन सर ट्यूटोरियल्स के माध्यम से, सैटरडे संडे की क्लासेस के माध्यम से इग्नू के पास ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूशनल अपैरेटस है कि आप काउंसलिंग जा कर के कर सकते हैं। उनके पास जो एजुकेशनल मटेरियल है वो बहुत उम्दा किस्म का है सर, और अगर वो उस मटेरियल को यूज़ करते हुए हम बाकी इंस्टीट्यूशंस में भी उसको फॉलो करते हैं, तो अगर बच्चे वो पढ़ते हैं, उन्हें किसी तरीके की दिक्कत है, इनफैक्ट सर ऑनलाइन भी काउंसलिंग प्रोवाइड किया जा रहा है।
ठीक है, अब ये बताइए बिहार के 3 प्रमुख विश्वविद्यालय और उनके जिलों के नाम।
सर पटना विश्वविद्यालय और पटना यूनिवर्सिटी पटना में है, और सर अभी नालंदा यूनिवर्सिटी वापस से हमने रिजुविनेट किया है नालंदा में, और सर भागलपुर विश्वविद्यालय, भागलपुर में जिसको तिलका मांझी विश्वविद्यालय के नाम से अभी कहा जा रहा है।
ठीक है, नवीनतम विश्वविद्यालय कौन सा है?
सर विश्वविद्यालय तो नहीं पता सर, लेकिन एम्स
कोई बात
और IIT
कोई बात सर।
अंजलि,
थैंक यू सर जी।
So what is your topic of research?
Sir, the topic of my research is child marriage studies in the East Singhbhum district of Jharkhand. वहाँ पे सर child marriage is very rampant. So I am trying to study one act which is Prohibition of Child Marriage Act, its implementation, success and failure in this district, sir.
So what the hypothesis that you made in your proposal?
Yes, sir. So the hypothesis is when there is lack of permeability between understanding of the socio-cultural context of a certain practice, then the implementation of law becomes challenging. That is my hypothesis, sir.
Are you sure? Hypotheses are like that much long?
Sir.
What are those central questions?
Central questions, sir. Research questions I haven't.
It's a part of your research proposal. It should be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But they're not there. Anyways, so you accept that like one particular region in Bihar, they are infested with the idea of child marriages. Fine. So government of Bihar has come up with any policy document in terms of prohibiting the child marriages?
Yes, sir. I think the issue of child marriage, government of Bihar is handling it in a campaign mode, sir. A number of schemes have been also implemented in that domain, sir. One is
any penalization or punishment if this particular
sir, under Prevention of Child Marriage Act 2006, sir, there are penalties. There is minimum of 6 months of jail.
Don't you think so? Like these kind of the practices have got social sanctity over the law affiliation.
Absolutely, sir.
So how to overcome this sort of the social
absolutely, sir. So law as a deterrence has been kept, but I also believe that these practices need to be tackled from bottom up approach, sir, through awareness campaigns and everything, and for that and positive incentivization, sir.
Is there any role of the poverty in terms of prevailing the situation of the child marriages?
Absolutely, sir. It is one of the leading cause, sir.
Fine, I understood. Being the student of the PSIR, can you tell me about the ping pong diplomacy?
Sir, I cannot recollect at this moment. Sorry.
There is a diplomacy that we call the shuttle diplomacy also.
Sir, I have read about them. I cannot recollect.
So you happen to be one of the finest sport person, and sport had been the part and parcel of the diplomacy.
Yes.
So if we assume that India should play a very active role in terms of the sport as a diplomacy.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think so? It should be given importance.
Absolutely, sir. Sports can be a very important part of diplomacy, sir.
Currently, we do have any strained relationship with any particular country? Strained relationship? Deteriorated?
Sir, we do have strained relationships with many countries. In our neighborhood only. With China also we have military disputes and other.
So as America has played, the sport as as a tool of the diplomacy, are maintaining good relationship with China. Why can't we? We are very much neighbor to the China.
Sir, it can definitely be a very good way to.
So which sport you would recommend to be the part of that diplomacy?
Sir, I think table tennis is one domain where India is also doing very well, and in China it is very popular.
Any sport person in table tennis in India? Famous sport person or sport women?
In table tennis domain, sir. I'm sorry, I cannot recollect.
Okay, not an issue. Last one from my side. You did talk about LSR being the name given by the male industrialist, but at the same time the name of the man. At the same time there was one person, Mr. Maurice Guyer, who has put the name of the college by her daughter, that is Miranda. Don't you think so? There are the two differences.
Yes, sir. I would accept that. As I explained that to sir also, I believe.
So don't you think so? There are some differences in the ethos that the two different kind of the people carry with their mindset.
Definitely, sir. It does reflect the difference in ethos, sir. I think giving lady name in front of the husband's name is a form of a patriarchal mindset which is very deep rooted in our society, sir.
Last one from my side. Anjali, tell me the two integrated checkpoints which are there and that share the border between Nepal and Bihar.
Sir, one would be in a place. I'm forgetting. I'm really sorry, sir. I'm forgetting the name.
What is the role of these checkpoints?
Sir, these borders are visa free and everything. We do not have to show any
contribution in terms of the trade promotion and people movement?
Absolutely, sir. The very idea of
which paramilitary look after this sort of this management of the people from the two countries?
Nepal border. Sir, I have been in that area, so I do not know the exact force, but I have mostly seen the local police, the Bihar police.
No, there must be a force, paramilitary force.
Yes, sir.
But
sorry,
you may
sir,
not be aware of. Anyway, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anjali, since you are coming from Bihar, Patna, and you've been studying in Delhi.
Yes.
Now, keeping that in mind, because you have done your entire graduation from Delhi and you might have studied everything in English. How would you cope up with the Hindi language that is very much prevalent and deep-rooted? How would you communicate? How would you talk to the officers? Everything. Do you even understand what is Abhilekh?
Abhilekh, sir, एक जो stone पे लिखी हुई एक script.
No, that's not the part. Anyways, my next question to you. Now, because what we have seen that earlier the Chief of Finance Commission has actually pointed out that the rise of populism in India in terms of freebie culture that is very much seen is going to take Indian states towards the crisis like Sri Lanka. Now, what should be done?
Yes, sir. The populist culture, sir, the very famous reverie culture, they intend towards a human resource development objective, but they often end up being an election gimmick, sir. So, and as you compared it, it can lead to a crisis like that happened in Sri Lanka. Sir, I think it's very important to draw a line where the kind of freebies or the populist during election time, the things which are being offered are there for in education sector or health sector or in terms of electricity to develop industries, or they are goods which are there for temporary benefits of the people who will just attract votes. So on that basis, and here, sir, the role of election commission also comes in. If they can demarcate it very well that these
now what should be the solution? Election commission, one thing. Then?
Sir, another solution can be
at the legislative level, there should be anything?
Sir, the model code of conduct can be more detailed in this manner.
That means model code of conduct should be made with statutory legislations? That is what you are suggesting?
Sir, I think that even if it does not have a statutory backing, since it is something which has a consensual backing, then its implementation can be strengthened by ECI only. Its implementation can be...
One last question, Anjali.
Yes, sir.
Now, Bihar as a state is of course poorly performing, or rather it is progressively performing in some parameters, but of course not very much represented in a very good manner in terms of socio-economic indicators. Now my question to you is, do you really think that the decision of the Bihar government to done away with the liquor or the sale and purchase of the liquor in the geographical state which is already debt-ridden is actually a good decision of the Bihar government?
So this decision is definitely a tightrope walk between socio-economic a law and order problem of liquor and associated violence, and the kind of revenue that we get from liquor. So in that manner, I think, sir, the way out can be, I personally support this liquor ban, sir, because I think I have personally also seen, and through a lot of research papers also, it has been proven that the domestic violence and associated intimate personal violence in the household has reduced, and also the domestic savings goes up, and it goes on for the education and health.
Let me give you an example.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you might have read about something called Ganga Vilas cruise.
Ganga, yes.
Now, Ganga Vilas cruise originating from Varanasi, it goes to Bihar. There every sort of liquor and everything is served. Now what should be done? How would you control that? If you are part of chief minister is advising you. So what measures you would like to take? Because it will go till Bangladesh and so expensive cruise. Also it is promoting the tourism in India as a whole. So how would you do that? What decision you would like to take? And what kind of cooperation you would make?
Yes, sir. I think you gave a very valid example, sir. That is what I was also hinting at, that a fine constructive way out can be driven out in this setup. Like for tourism, if we permit alcohol in certain restaurants, wine and dine sort of facility, or the cruise example that you gave, so it will be, you consume the alcohol right there. It will also attract tourism, sir, and it will also ensure that the alcohol is not being percolated through illegal means.
What about the parallel economy that is created through illicit, illegal trade that is there?
Yes, sir.
You name an app, there were apps which was actually created by the liquor mafias, so that you just ordering food like things, you can actually be delivering the alcohol from your at your home comfort zone, right? So do you think this is taking the decision of the Bihar government is right in this direction, because it's not been effectively able to control the liquor trade that is happening from in Bihar? Most of the time there are of course social repercussions, legal repercussions, but nothing so concrete has been done. So what should be the solution to effectively control the liquor trade?
Okay, sir. Sir, I would like to address that in two ways. First would be, I believe, sir, if there is an implementation failure with a policy which is fundamentally good, then we need to work on the implementation aspect, sir. Having said that, sir, I understand an underbelly has been developed of mafia and illicit liquor, and sometimes very poisonous one, and deaths are also happening because of that. So even if there are challenges in the implementation part, first of all we need to work upon that. Second of all, sir, we need to make some way outs. Like in Gujarat, Gift City, recently Gift City, in the Gift City they have been permitting liquor.
They have been permitting, or they have just
permitted,
thought of the proposal that was actually initiated by the trading community of Surat?
Sir, I can be wrong.
Is it the permission?
Sir, as far as I remember, they have permitted in the Gift City.
It's not a permission, it's just a proposal. Anyways, yes, please continue.
Thank you, sir.
So,
yes, sir. So that was the second part, that we need to take out some constructive way outs, that in tourism sector, especially when foreigners are coming in, or things like cruise is going on, then you are permitting it within the premises only, sir. So it is coming through authentic means in that way, and that can also address not to develop that underground.
Thank you, Anjali. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Anjali, how was your interview?
Sir, I definitely need to work upon my content, sir. Especially the questions that sir asked on PSIR. I will go back and look into that. And I think, sir, English and Hindi mix was coming sometimes.
That's not a problem. I don't think so. It was a problem. Even the board members were of the opinion that you are an excellent candidate. You see, I don't think so. Interview is a problem for you. It entirely depends upon how you have performed in the mains examination. Okay. But there were of course some concerns by the board members and including me, and of course these concerns are of course kept in mind while you were appearing for the real interview. One of the concern was of course brevity, right? That should be the only thing that you have to, because you are not putting a break on your answers, too much long answers, and that at times it is also not giving the scope of the other examiner or maybe the interview expert to at least point out some other questions, right? So brevity is the only thing that I would suggest you. Try and see the video that is there. Otherwise, you are an excellent candidate. The entire board was of the opinion that interview would not be a problem for you.
Okay, sir.
Especially some of the very controversial questions you handled extremely well.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So this should be done. Plus the integrated checkpoints you have to read. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your interview happens to be on 14th.
Jesus.
Right. What Bihar can actually adopt from tourism model of Uttar Pradesh. Right. Then of course there are of course UP development model. Although you have been able to answer about the issues of APMC, everything was fantastic. Although the glorious past of Vikramshila, all those university. Plus do also try to read about, you can say Bihar as a state needs to work on what areas, okay, what parameters. Flooding is a problem, congestion is the problem, waterlogging is a problem, all those problems you have to deal it. Okay. Then you also answered extremely well about populism and freebie.
Okay, sir.
It should be correlated with the welfare approach that is very much present in the constitution, especially directive principles.
Yes, sir.
Try to also relate this, particularly the alcohol ban, with the objectives enshrined in Article 47 of the Indian Constitution.
I should have done
Okay.
this. Yes, sir.
That is mentioned in DPSP. Okay. The commitments of the state must provide all those things. So on rest of the parameters, everything was fantastic. Okay. We tried to check you on so many aspects. For example, you have the integrity. You were very much positive in your body language. Everything was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, sir.
So we don't think so. It's almost, I believe that more than 400, 500 interviews we have taken. So by and large, you were absolutely fantastic, and you were among one of the most, you can say, deserving candidates. Okay. So the entire interview board were of the opinion that you would definitely be doing well.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Interview would not be a problem for you. Any more thing? Any other thing you would like to ask?
No, sir. I think this helps. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Don't be nervous at all. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Starting when you came, it was very much visible on your face also. Right? Don't be nervous.
Yes, sir.
You're already there. You did your mains. Okay. You qualified prelims. You did your mains, and you well deserve this particular position. There might be a question related to the cultural significance of Delhi and how you are able to balance this, the Bihari cuisine and all those things, right? Everything is fantastic. Okay, Anjali, everything was fantastic.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.